Hello, everybody. We are going to copy and paste from our Excel into Microsoft Word. And if you're panicking, think it's going to be hard, don't worry. This is a pretty easy, painless thing. So I'm going to go back into my Excel, and I have a chart that I've labeled June 2021. All right, and I'm going to be copy and paste this. When you go into Word, just start with a blank document, or for our assignment, blank document. The reason this is kind of handy to do is if you're doing a presentation or if you're doing a research paper, you can include facts. What I did was I created this document. My biggest tip to you before you copy and paste from Excel is to do a couple returns to have some space to work with, because occasionally people won't do that and then they find it harder to manipulate. So when you bring up your document, put a couple space lines in there so you have some room to manipulate. All right, now we're going to go, and you can see I already put one in here, and actually I put a frame around it. It looks pretty nifty. So I'm going to go back in here and grab my chart and show you how we copy and paste that. Whoops. All right, so I click on it and I do a right click and copy, or you can highlight it and do Control C. But what we're going to do is we are just copying at this point. So copy, come back into your piece, and I'm going to insert this in my, do another page. Okay. Control V, and this puts it in here. Now, I don't like the size. So one of the nice things I can do, I can manipulate this. Now it brings this chart in and treats it as an image. So it's not a manipulatable item like our table is going to be. So one of the nice things that I can do is format this picture. Oops. I can crop it. I don't like the extra space, so I'm going to come in here, grab the heavy black lines. As you're doing this, if you wanted to adjust it, like you want to preserve the integrity, always grab the corner ones when you're enlarging. If I had done it here, you can see I lose the integrity of the piece. So always grab the corners. So now what I have is something that is a little tighter on the sides than I like. All right, now I am double clicking and it brings up some things. Apologize. All right, I've already cropped it here. When you click on the wrap text, if you have a much smaller one and you want it within your text, this is what you're going to use. But over here are the picture styles. And if I wanted to change this, I could change it. Now, the problem is, like if we use this oval, you're going to lose some material. So do be careful about what you pick, that you're not losing the integrity of your material. So I chose this one earlier. I'm going to choose this one right now. And what it gives you is a very clean chart. All right. And I can move this around if I want to. I can still change my size if I want to by grabbing the corners. All right. Now, let's go back and let's add in the actual table itself. Or excuse me, let's add the spreadsheet information itself. So I've given myself a couple spaces here. And now let's go back in. And this is my information. So I'm going to click and drag what I want. Control C, or I can do a right click and copy it that way. Then I'm going to go back into my Word and it's Control V. Now it looks slightly different because we're going to have to play with some sizes, but it does bring it in as a table. It understands that this information is a table versus charts are brought in and it treats it as an image. So this I can't manipulate the data. I can this. So what I'm going to do is you're going to come down and click on things like you're in Excel. Okay. Do you see how I grabbed the arrow where it was pointing down? And I'm going to adjust the width if I want to. Okay. Now I don't want to change that one. So let me see if I want to change these. Okay, I want to tighten them up a little bit, whatever you want to do. So this one, I do want to bring it over. And I'm going to change these a little bit. So you can manipulate this as you would like, okay? I'm pulling that over a little bit. I can do whatever I want. Now, one of the other nice things that I can do is if I want to change the font, if I bring it into my presentation and I'm unhappy with the font, I'm just going to be able to change that too. Whoops, go home. Now, one of the things when you change that font, be cognizant of, it's something that if you're sending the file they have, if you start to get a funky font, when you send this, then you probably ought to send it as a PDF so it looks exactly like the way you want it to. All right. This is a super easy thing to do. What I'm asking you to do is to copy and paste your chart in your table over into a Word document. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.